Under a sky choked with bruised moonlit clouds, the silhouette of a house stood desolate, a skeletal finger pointing at the heavens. It was a place forgotten by time, its windows like hollow eyes staring into the void. Ethan pushed open the heavy oak door, the groan of its hinges echoing like a lament through the cavernous interior. A chill, more profound than the night air, slithered over his skin as he stepped inside. Flashlight in hand, he swept its beam across rooms draped in the shrouds of dust and neglect. Cobwebs hung like tattered veils from ornate chandeliers, and furniture lay dormant under white sheets, resembling a field of tombstones. His face, illuminated by the bobbing light, was a canvas of apprehension, every shadow deepening the lines of worry etched around his eyes. He had come seeking shelter, but the silence here was heavy, watchful. He ventured deeper, his footsteps muffled by the thick carpet of dust. That's when he noticed it. On the wall of the main hallway, a section of peeling wallpaper seemed to ripple, a slow, faint tremor that disturbed the floral pattern, like a stone dropped in still water. He stopped, squinting. Was it a trick of the light? Then a sound reached him, a soft, rhythmic creak, low and steady like the slow, sleeping exhale of some colossal lung. Ethan froze, his head snapping around. The sound was everywhere and nowhere at once. A prickle of unease crawled up his spine as he stood perfectly still, listening to the house breathe. Dismissing it as the wind or the house settling, Ethan tried to press on, but the anomalies grew bolder. The very walls around him began to pulse, a subtle, almost imperceptible throb that vibrated through the soles of his shoes. Shadows cast by his own flashlight seemed to detach from their objects, stretching and contorting with a life of their own, dancing in the corners of his vision. A new sound joined the breathing, a chorus of whispers seeping from the plaster like steam. The words were indistinct, a sibilant murmur that promised secrets and madness. Panic began to fray the edges of his composure. He ran a hand along the wall, feeling its strange rhythmic vibration. He knocked on it, the sound a dull, fleshy thud as if he were rapping on a giant's ribcage. The house had woken up. The subtle pulsations intensified, the walls now visibly undulating, their surfaces rolling like the flesh of a living beast. Spiderweb cracks raced across the plaster, not revealing lath and wood, but glimpses of something dark, wet, and organic, writhing just beneath the surface. The breathing deepened into a guttural, cavernous roar that echoed through every room, the very foundation of the house vibrating with its power. Ethan scrambled back, his heart hammering against his ribs. He spun around, searching for the door he'd entered, but it was gone, replaced by a seamless, pulsing wall. He lunged for a window, but the frame warped and twisted before his eyes, the glass thickening and darkening into an opaque, unbreachable membrane. Trapped and cornered, Ethan's strength finally gave way. A guttural sob of terror escaped his lips as he stumbled backward, collapsing against a wall that felt horrifyingly like living muscle. He slid to the floor, defeated, surrendering to the overwhelming horror. The whispers enveloped him. The rhythmic breathing became his own. From the outside, under the indifferent moon, the old house seemed to swell, its frame expanding and contracting with one final deep inhalation. It settled back into its crooked posture, a little larger now, silent once more, having consumed the last breath of the man within.